Hi, this is Christy with Bonney Lake, Ben Franklin, and today I'm going to show you how to create a burlap mat to mount your photo on. The photo I'm going to use, I printed off on regular printer paper. You can use printer paper, you can use cardstock, or regular photograph that you get developed, as if anybody does that anymore. And then I cut my mat, my foam board just a little bit larger than the picture so that we can give it a little bit more depth with paint. I'm just using regular acrylic paint to paint the edge and let it go over a little bit on the front to give it another dimension, like an additional frame within a frame. I'm choosing dark brown because the frame I'm going to use is dark brown and the burlap that I'm going to use is a lighter color. Now that we're done painting it, I'm going to set aside and let it dry. Now that it's dry, quick and easy way to prevent our pictures from bubbling or warping is to use a spray adhesive. Center the picture in the middle and the adhesive stick quickly. So make sure it's in the right place. Smooth it down. And we can move on to the burlap. The next thing that we're going to use is our mat board, which you can purchase in the frame department, and burlap. It's sold in small amounts or in the fabric department by the bolt. I like to use a dark colored mat because it will show through and it gives it more depth and it makes it more interesting to look at. So the first thing that you want to do is spray your mat board down, again with spray adhesive. And place your burlap on top. You're going to want to wrap around the sides just a little bit, so it's easier to put the burlap down first and then your mat board. Because burlap does fray easily, you need to wrap it around the edges so that it doesn't fray on the front side. Tug it and pull it to try to get your lines nice and straight, unless you like the squiggle look. So I'm using a non-stick craft mat because that way I can put it down and peel it back up and it's not going to stick to the table, because that will make your burlap pull away from your mat board and you'll have to start all over. And keep in mind that you want to get a mat board that will fit the size of the frame that you want to use and have it be larger than the size of your picture, of course, so that you can still see the burlap. Push it down nice and tight. You want a snug fit so that you don't have any gaps when you turn it over. But if you pull it too hard, you'll get the stretchy look on the other side. So it fits inside your frame well. You want to cut off these excess corners. You definitely don't want any bowing of your mat because that will make for a less finished looking product. Now that I've finished putting the burlap on, I'm going to turn it over and smooth out any lines. And if it's folded and you have a fold line, not a worry, it will eventually, within a day or so, smooth itself out. So we're just going to glue right here our picture onto our burlap. And before you do that though, you want to put it in your frame and check it out. Depending on the size of frame that you're choosing, it'll change where it's centered. So as you see, this is the way it's going to look when it's done. So again, we can use the spray adhesive. I'm going to put a little bit more on this time, and you can also use a hardier glue for this part as well. Put it right in the middle. And obviously we have not. put the mat in yet, so we're still good. Make sure it's straight the way you like it, because it's not going to move again. Now that the photo has been securely adhered to the burlap, we can put it in our frame, and I have chosen a barnwood frame from our frame department. And you just pop it in. Pretty simple. And because of the burlap and the barnwood, you don't even need to put any kind of glue to keep it in place. You can silicone it if you want to. That will work. And this is the finished product. If you want to give it a seal, you can use an acrylic sealer. A matte finish would look best with the barnwood. It's up to you. Or you can just hang it the way it is. Now that you're done, you could add embellishments that coordinate with your photo, or leave it as is. Again, this is Christy with Ben Franklin in Bonney Lake. Thanks for watching.